but Howard Schultz of Starbucks.
Yeah.
How close were you to actually potentially merging with them, being however you want to characterize it?
There were very serious discussions, and we write about it in the book, and I spent some time on it. I actually thought the deal would get done. It didn't. Things have ways of happening.
Well, when you look back, what are the lessons from that? Why didn't it happen?
I think so much in life is actually not controllable. And one of the mistakes we make in a broader way as human beings is assuming we can control everything. I think our stock was going up dramatically at that point, and I think simultaneously my sense is that Howard was about to announce that he was stepping down and handing over the reins to Kevin.
You've both stepped away and come back.
Yes, he did once more than me.
That's true. That's true.
I only came back once. He
triple,
came back twice. I learned my lesson.
You know what's interesting
Yes.
about leadership? It gets to a point almost like, if you think about on some level people want to lose weight, it's like eat less, exercise more. There's something intuitive about the tips on a 30,000-foot level, but the execution is what makes all the difference. When you think about the leaders, and you can be specific if you want, but when you feel a need to come back, what is it that is the gap? Is it the vision that's the gap, or the execution? How would you characterize where people
Well, there's a
fall
lot
apart?
buried in that.
Yes, that's multiple questions.
Right.
Shame on me.
No.
I
I just want to say, it is all about the execution. It's not enough to have a better idea. Hopefully, your better idea is the right one. That's what knowing what matters is about. The means to that is telling the truth.
Right.
But ultimately, it's about getting it done. And the dirty little secret of corporate America is that often they get done well less than 80% of what they set out to do. It's really difficult. Now you raise a different question.
Yeah.
And excuse me, share with me that question again.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm curious about, in the case of you and Howard Schultz and many other
Yes.
people, you pick a leader, you groom leaders, but then
Why?
you feel a need to come back.
Right. So here's how it worked for me. I stepped aside. I actually didn't know what I was going to do. I had some overtures from the Obama administration. I very much wanted to take what I'd learned about running large-scale organizations and apply them in society. And I realized at that time I couldn't step away from Panera. I was too integrated in it. And I decided to step away and jump off that high diving board and see where it took me. I will tell you that I was still the executive chairman, and I was still doing some customer-facing stuff and M&A work. And again, life takes its own path. And some period of time later, I had looked at an acquisition candidate. I came back over a weekend, and I wrote a vision, basically for how I would compete with Panera if I weren't part of Panera. And I called for digital access. I called for loyalty. I called for clean food. I called for omnichannel. And
Did you not already have all that?
None of it. In 2011,
Really? Well, you certainly had clean food.
no restaurant had that.
Okay.
These were all
Oh, green food.
clean,
Oh, clean food.
Clean food.
What is clean food?
free of all artificial colors,
Oh,
flavors,
okay.
preservatives,
Okay.
and the like. And none of that existed. And I essentially shared that with my friend Bill Morton, who I'd handed over the reins to. And Bill looked at me and said, "Ron, will you go work on this? This makes so much sense." And I said, "Sure." And a year later, the executive chairman was working 80 hours a week on this vision and loving it. And I mean, we really were one of the original technology-enabled restaurant chains. And this was in a time when nobody did it.